He done put her in a condo. The deed is in her name. She driving around in a new Bentley. What else? She carrying the latest fashions. She just a regular old Marlo Thomas and Ted Turner. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com for these super fly shades. And if you're not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now let's continue talking about Inside My Life by Smokey Robinson. Listen, y'all, my baby right here, he taking a nap. You okay, Bubba? Sorry. He taking a nap, so if you hear some snoring, I don't want to hear your shit. Okay, you know my baby's spoiled. Quiet Storm, co-written with my wonderfully creative sister, Rose Ella, expressed something deep inside my soul, a sense of stirring discontent. Happy on one hand to be home, y'all remember, because he left Claudette because he was confused about his relationship with Meta. What he did was get his own apartment so he can go in between each woman, and don't have to hear nobody's mouth. Then one day he went to go see his family at his home with Claudette, and his son was like, "I need you here, Daddy." And Smokey went home. A sense of stirring discontent. Happy on one hand to be home, but anxious on the other to start performing. For the first time in my solo career, I went into the studio dead set, determined to come out with a killer album. I wanted a big record, and I got it. The album was a hit, but even more, it started a new radio format, actually called Quiet Storm, soft, romantic soul music with a sexy bite. Soon, Quiet Storm stations started popping up all over the country. It pleased me that the acceptance of my Quiet Storm album had created a whole category of radio. I can't recall whether it was WHUR's, that would be Howard University Radio, that the Quiet Storm came on at night. I think it was about 12 o'clock. Or 93 KYS during the time that Donnie Simpson was on the radio. You know, he's on the radio now, but I think he's on WHUR. Like now, I go to sleep with the TV on. But for some reason, when I was younger, in my teens and early 20s, I used to go to sleep with the radio on. And baby, when that quiet storm blowing through my mind, you knew once you heard Smokey Robinson's Quiet Storm that it was about to be some good music playing after that. Radio was so good. You have an assignment. You ought to tell me what station and city your Quiet Storm was played on, along with whoever the DJ was, and the top 5 songs that you knew they were going to play during the Quiet Storm. Now, I think that it was, I want to say Melvin, I can't remember. But I'm going to tell you the songs that we always waited to hear. And you knew they were going to play during the Quiet Storm. I would say Confunctions, Love Train, Frederick, I'll Be Gentle, Anita Baker's, something from Angel. No. I Just Want to Be Your Girl. What else? LTD's Love Ballad and Irvin Lee Projects. Heartbreaking Feeling. You know, when you heard that thunder roll come in, baby, they was about to be playing something awesome after that. In 1975, I was feeling restless. Night after night, I'd go out to nightclubs checking out acts. If Joe Blow and the Hula Hoopers were there, I'd show up. I'd go see anyone, thinking all the while of how I'd like to be up there singing. I was hungry for the stage. I hadn't performed for 3 years. I realized that I needed to entertain people like I needed to eat to stay alive. Since coming to LA, my job definition had changed. I was no longer seeking new talent. I'd become more of a financial administrator. I'm sitting up in my office, I told Barry, signing checks until I feel like a clerk. Don't worry about your office smoke, he said. I want you to do what makes you happy. If that means concentrating on your career, then do it. My debut was in a little club in Florida. It felt a little like starting over, although the club was packed to the rafters with well-wishers and supporters like my old friend, Barney Ellis, no longer with Motown, and his wife, Mitzi. When I got on stage, I missed looking to my left and seeing Ronnie, Bobby, and Pete, smiling and stepping and singing behind me. It felt strange. And to make matters worse, my musical director flipped out on stage. He started running through the audience and screaming how Martians were chasing him. I knew this solo shit wasn't going to be easy. First of all, Smokey the Robinson. Okay, I like how you telling your business. I like how you are telling Marvy Pooh's business. Okay, I like this. Okay, because you confirming all the bullshits that we already know. But you're not saying what it is. You're saying that your man, your I don't know, the producer of the band or your band instructor, whatever the hell his title is. My bad for not knowing it because we just said it. It's like you're not saying what it is. He flipped out. Why don't you just say that he took some crazy shit and went on a bad trip and started singing Martians? You know damn well that man ain't just was sitting there looking up on stage, and then all of a sudden he flipped out. He flipped out because he took something, okay, or drank something, or somebody slipped his ass something, okay? Smokey, I'm getting sick and tired of you not saying what it is, goddamn. Bad things lead to good things, though, because shortly after this gruesome episode, I hooked up with Sonny Burke. He's been my main music man ever since. Killer keyboardist, classy conductor, artful arranger, cool co-producer. Burke is bad. By now, Barry had moved from the Hollywood Hills to an even more spectacular spread high in the hills of Bel Air. His place was palatial. On an overcast morning, Barney and I waited for him in his den. He was unusually late. When he finally showed up, I could see he was uptight. Barry, I said, I really think it's time for me to publish my own songs. He was distracted by the barrage of phone calls, and I wasn't sure if he'd heard what I had said. Barry, I repeated, this is important to me. I want to start keeping my own copyrights. I wish you wouldn't bother me with this pity shit right now, Smoke. I'm in the middle of making a movie, and it's not pity to me, Barry. Look, you can have your publishing. You can have anything you want, but leave me alone because I don't have time for it. Okay. With that, he got up and left me and Barney sitting in the room. I was stung, disappointed, pissed. I looked at Barney. He shrugged. What could he say? Barry was my best friend, and he was treating me like dirt. Fuck that motherfucker, I thought, walking out the door. Pause. Let me tell you something. Me and my best friend have been best friends since I was 4 and she was 5. She's a Cancer, I'm a Libra. I'm pretty easygoing. Cancers can be very, very moody, okay? And let me explain to you something. Majority of the time, if me and her get into it, it's because she's in a bad mood. But we've been together so long that I know how to be like, bitch, you in a bad mood? Okay, I'll call you back later. All right, because what you're not going to do is take out your bullshit on me. And because I know her so well, she'll be like, no, give me a minute. Okay, bitch, hurry up and get yourself together, goddammit, because I'm trying to go get something to eat. All right. And that's how relationships work. Whether you're in a romantic relationship, a friendship, a working relationship, that's just how relationships work, especially when you know what you're dealing with. And Smokey Robinson was in his feelings in that moment because he's coming to bury Gordy with something that is important to him. And as his best friend, not his boss, he needed, meaning Smokey needed his best friend at that time, not his boss. I'm not sure whether Barry was just being an asshole at the time or whether or not he just full with displaced anger at the moment, okay? But it hurt Smokey bad. I waited a few months before bringing it up again. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can't tell you nothing else, timing matters with everything. You know, when your husband or your mate comes in the house and they didn't had a bad day at work, you shouldn't be talking to them about why they didn't take the trash out last night. Maybe you can wait till tomorrow and then blast their ass, but not right now. Not right now. And when your mate tell you not right now, not right now. I waited a few months before bringing it up again. An opening came when one day he dropped by my house to see the kids. We were sitting in the backyard when I said, man, you really got me upset. When I mentioned my own publishing company. But I approved it. You made your deal, didn't you? I made it. But you acted like you were doing me a favor. You nearly bit my head off. But it's okay, because after thinking about it, I finally understood what you were going through. And I know it must have been hell for you. He got up, grabbed me out of my chair, and hugged me hard. That wasn't me, man. That was some Hollywood asshole trying to get a movie made. Look, you're my person for life. If this ship ever goes down, you and me will be holding on to each other till the bitter end. Just like when we were holding on to each other at the beginning. It's you and me, Smoke, today, tomorrow, and for the rest of the set. Yeah, I love their relationship. For the rest of the year, my quiet storm subsided. But then I have to admit, it blew up again. Though I was back home with Claudette, my relationship with Meta hadn't run its course. Meta inspired me. I couldn't let go of her. She was with me nearly every night when I recorded the Quiet Storm album. She was, in fact, the quiet storm I felt blowing through my life. She aroused me, stirring my songs, heightening my art. I wrote about it. What's it all about, this crazy love? How did our two worlds entwine? Meta knew, though, that I'd never leave my wife for another woman. She also knew that if she saw me, it'd have to be on that basis. I told her that I could never give her my full romantic attention. Prime time belonged to Claudette. I felt guilty. I wish I could have made up my mind to be with one or the other. I felt like a tennis ball. Claudette and Meta were both rackets. My emotions were the net. I saw myself sailing over that net, bouncing from one side to the other. But Meta was willing to play, and so was I. And my life went on. Just like those TV daytime dramas I followed so closely, one day at a time. Shut up, please. I mean, he put it poetically, but what it is I'll get to you when I can. I love you. I love my wife too, but I have an obligation to my family because I married them, and my children need me at home. And when I get finished doing my daddy and my husband thing, I'll be round there to hunch on top of you. A seasoned woman would have told him, no, you keep your dick and your songs and them green eyes stuck up your wife's ass. Unless with that seasoned woman. He done put her in a condo. The deed is in her name. She driving around in a new Bentley. What else? She carrying the latest fashions. She's just a regular old Marlo Thomas and Ted Turner. That's the only way I could see a seasoned woman taking that bullshit. You couldn't pull that shit on a seasoned woman. A young girl? Oh, child. She'll stay in the pocket until she becomes a seasoned woman. In the 70s, when music was passing from the age of producer to the age of the artist, now more than ever before, singers were making huge money demands. Same thing was happening with star athletes. As a company, we'd done great, but our resources were nothing next to giants like Columbia, Warner Brothers, and RCA. They could, and damn near did, buy any artist they wanted. Only loyalty could keep our people in the fold. Finally, just the hardcore cats remained. Stevie, me, and later on, Lionel Richie. The Jacksons left in 1976, but that, I believe, had to do with their father, Joe. Joe never got used to Barry calling the shots on his boys. He figured because his sons came from his seed, he'd be their boss forever. Problem was that Joe wasn't a businessman. In the end, he was more of a hindrance than a help. Business people didn't want to deal with him. Sadly, when they were old enough, his kids found managers of their own, with Michael leading the way. We know this is true because we read the LaToya Jackson book, and LaToya said the same thing. Only thing Joe Jackson was good at was intimidation. As far as getting the job done, no. He could only take his children but so far. And he didn't want to admit that. He wanted the kids to have a loyalty to him at whatever business acumen that he had. Stay right here with me. Janet, Michael, and the rest of them, they wanted to do other stuff. You know, and it was so much so that LaToya had wrote in the book that certain people in the business didn't even want to be bothered with Joe. Because Joe thought that he could intimidate people. No, get your ass out of here. The Jacksons split up with Motown wasn't pretty.